What if the secret to transforming your health was not about what you eat, but when you eat? Imagine rewiring your body to burn fat effortlessly, boost your energy, and add years to your life, all without counting a single calorie. Connor Thompson, author of the Complete Intermittent Fasting Diet, reveals this is not just possible, but backed by science. The revolutionary shift in how we think about food. For decades, we have been told that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, that we need to eat every few hours to keep our metabolism running, and that skipping meals will slow down fat loss. Thompson challenges every single one of these beliefs in his comprehensive guide. The book reveals that our ancestors did not have access to food around the clock. They thrived on periods of feasting and fasting, and our bodies are designed to function optimally under these conditions. The modern habit of constant eating has led us into a metabolic crisis, where insulin levels remain elevated, fat storage is continuous, and energy levels crash repeatedly throughout the day. The core principle is simple. When you eat, your body uses glucose for energy and stores the excess as fat. When you fast, your body depletes its glucose reserves and begins burning stored fat for fuel. This metabolic switch, which typically happens after 12 to 16 hours of fasting, is where the transformation begins. Your body enters a state called ketosis, where it produces ketones from fat. These ketones are not just an alternative fuel source. They provide stable energy and support brain function. Research by Dr. Mark Mattson, a neuroscientist at Johns Hopkins University, shows that fasting triggers a cellular repair process called autophagy, where your cells break down and recycle damaged components. Think of it as your body taking out the trash and upgrading its internal machinery. This process is linked to longevity, reduced inflammation, and protection against diseases like Alzheimer's and cancer. Thompson emphasizes these findings throughout his book, showing readers how to harness this power, the different protocols, and how to choose yours. Thompson outlines several intermittent fasting protocols in his book, each suited to different lifestyles and goals. The 16-8 method is the most popular and beginner-friendly. You fast for 16 hours and eat within an 8-hour window. You finish dinner at 8 p.m., skip breakfast the next morning, and break your fast at noon. During your eating window, you consume nutrient-dense meals without obsessing over calorie counts. This method works because it aligns with your natural circadian rhythm. Your body expects food during daylight hours, not late at night when it should be repairing itself. The 5-2-2 diet involves eating normally for 5 days a week and restricting calories to around 500 to 600 on 2 non-consecutive days. Thompson shares stories of individuals who struggled with weight for years, trying every diet from low-carb to low-fat with no lasting results. When they adopted the 5-2-2 method, something shifted. On fasting days, they ate a small breakfast and a light dinner. On regular days, they ate without guilt. Within months, they lost significant weight, but more importantly, they felt liberated from the constant mental burden of dieting. Alternate day fasting is more intense. You eat normally one day and consume very few calories or nothing at all the next day. This method accelerates fat loss and metabolic improvements but requires more discipline. The book recommends starting with gentler methods and progressing only if you feel comfortable. Extended fasting, lasting 24 to 72 hours, is reserved for those who have experience with intermittent fasting. During extended fasts, autophagy peaks, growth hormone levels surge, and inflammation drops dramatically. Research by Dr. Walter Longo shows that prolonged fasting can regenerate the immune system by clearing out old immune cells and triggering the production of new ones. However, Thompson emphasizes that extended fasting should be done under medical supervision, especially for individuals with underlying health conditions. The science behind the hunger hormones. One of the biggest fears people have about fasting is hunger. Will you be starving all day? Thompson explains that hunger is not a constant force. It is controlled by hormones, primarily ghrelin, the hunger hormone, and leptin, the satiety hormone. Ghrelin levels spike at the times you usually eat. If you normally eat breakfast at 8 a.m., your body will release ghrelin around that time. But here is the surprising part. If you do not eat, ghrelin levels drop after about 20 minutes. Hunger comes in waves. It is not a constant pressure that stays forever. Studies published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that participants who skipped breakfast reported similar hunger levels by lunchtime as those who ate breakfast. The key is pushing through the initial discomfort. After a few days, your body adapts. Ghrelin stops spiking in the morning, and fasting becomes easier. Leptin, on the other hand, signals your brain when you have had enough to eat. But in people who are overweight or obese, leptin signaling becomes impaired. This is called leptin resistance. Your brain does not receive the message that you are full, so you keep eating. Intermittent fasting helps restore leptin sensitivity, allowing your brain to accurately gauge hunger and fullness. Over time, you naturally eat less without feeling deprived. The insulin connection and fat storage. Insulin is the master regulator of fat storage. Every time you eat, especially carbohydrates, your blood sugar rises. Your pancreas releases insulin to shuttle glucose into your cells. But when you eat frequently, insulin levels remain elevated. High insulin levels lock fat inside your cells, making it nearly impossible to burn. This is why people who eat every few hours struggle to lose weight, even on a calorie deficit. Intermittent fasting lowers insulin levels. When you fast, insulin drops and your body can finally access stored fat. Dr. Jason Fung, a nephrologist and fasting expert, explains that insulin resistance, the root cause of type 2 diabetes, can be reversed through fasting. He has treated thousands of patients who eliminated their need for diabetes medication simply by adopting intermittent fasting. Thompson references this research extensively in his book, providing readers with a scientific foundation for why intermittent fasting works. Consider this scenario. A businessman had pre-diabetes. His doctor warned him that he was on the verge of needing insulin injections. He started with a 16-to-8 method, eating his meals between noon and 8 p.m. He did not drastically change what he ate, just when he ate. Within 3 months, his fasting blood sugar dropped from 115 to 92, firmly back in the normal range. His energy soared, and he lost 20 pounds. His doctor was stunned. The mental clarity and cognitive benefits. One of the most unexpected benefits of intermittent fasting is the mental sharpness it provides. Many people report feeling foggy and sluggish after meals. This is because digestion requires significant energy. Blood flows to your gut, leaving less oxygen for your brain. When you fast, your body produces ketones, which are a cleaner, more efficient fuel for the brain. Ketones reduce oxidative stress and inflammation in brain cells, protecting against cognitive decline. Dr. Mattson's research shows that fasting increases the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, a protein that supports the growth of new neurons and strengthens existing connections. Low BDNF levels are linked to depression, anxiety, and neurodegenerative diseases. Intermittent fasting naturally boosts BDNF, improving mood, memory, and focus. An entrepreneur struggled with afternoon crashes. She would reach for coffee and sugary snacks to stay alert, but the energy boost was always short-lived. After adopting intermittent fasting, she noticed something remarkable. Her mind stayed sharp throughout the day. She no longer needed caffeine to function. Her productivity doubled, and she made better decisions under pressure. The anti-aging and longevity effects. Aging is not just about wrinkles and gray hair. It is about cellular damage accumulating over time. Intermittent fasting activates several longevity pathways, including sirtuins, a family of proteins that regulate cellular health and lifespan. Sirtuins are activated during periods of nutrient scarcity, which is precisely what fasting mimics. Dr. David Sinclair, a geneticist at Harvard Medical School, has extensively researched sirtuins and aging. He argues that intermittent fasting, combined with other longevity strategies, can slow down the biological clock. In animal studies, caloric restriction and fasting have been shown to extend lifespan by up to 40%. While human studies are still ongoing, the evidence is compelling. Thompson synthesizes this research in his book, making it accessible to everyday readers. Consider a 68-year-old man who adopted intermittent fasting after being diagnosed with high cholesterol and early signs of heart disease. His doctor recommended statins, but he wanted to try a natural approach first. He started with the 16-8 method and incorporated more whole foods into his diet. Within a year, his cholesterol normalized, his blood pressure dropped, and his cardiovascular markers improved. He felt decades younger. The practical side: what to eat during your eating window. Intermittent fasting is not an excuse to binge on junk food during your eating window. Thompson emphasizes the importance of nutrient density throughout his book. Your body needs vitamins, minerals, healthy fats, and protein to thrive. The best approach is to focus on whole, unprocessed foods. Vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, nuts, seeds, and healthy fats like avocado and olive oil should form the foundation of your meals. One mistake beginners make is overcompensating during their eating window. They think they need to eat massive amounts of food to make up for the fasting period. This defeats the purpose. Your body naturally regulates appetite when you eat nutrient-dense foods. You will feel satisfied without overeating. Hydration is equally important. During fasting periods, you can drink water, black coffee, and unsweetened tea. These beverages do not spike insulin and can actually enhance the fasting benefits. Coffee, in particular, contains compounds that boost autophagy and fat burning. Thompson also addresses common pitfalls. Some people break their fast with a high-carb meal, causing a blood sugar spike and energy crash. A better approach is to break your fast with a balanced meal containing protein, healthy fats, and fiber. A plate with grilled salmon, roasted vegetables, and quinoa is ideal. This keeps blood sugar stable and sustains energy. The emotional and psychological freedom. Beyond the physical benefits, intermittent fasting offers something deeper: freedom from food obsession. Many people spend hours thinking about their next meal, counting calories, or feeling guilty about what they ate. Intermittent fasting simplifies your relationship with food. You eat during your window, and you fast outside of it. There is no gray area, no constant decision-making. A woman had struggled with emotional eating for years. Stress, boredom, and sadness triggered mindless snacking. She felt trapped in a cycle of guilt and overeating. When she started intermittent fasting, she finally had boundaries. She could not eat outside her window, so she had to sit with her emotions instead of numbing them with food. This was uncomfortable at first, but over time, she developed healthier coping mechanisms. She started journaling, meditating, and going for walks. Food no longer controlled her life. Common challenges and how to overcome them. Thompson does not sugarcoat the challenges in his book. The first few days of intermittent fasting can be tough. You might feel irritable, tired, or hungry. This is normal. Your body is adjusting from burning glucose to burning fat. Research by Dr. Matson shows it takes 2 to 4 weeks for most people to adapt to an intermittent fasting pattern. Drinking plenty of water, staying busy during fasting periods, and getting enough sleep can ease the transition. Social situations can also be tricky. If your eating window is from noon to 8 p.m., but your friends want to have breakfast at 10 a.m., what do? The book advises flexibility. Intermittent fasting is a tool, not a prison. If you need to adjust your window for a special occasion, do it. Consistency matters more than perfection. Women, in particular, need to approach intermittent fasting with caution. Hormones are sensitive to calorie restriction and stress. Thompson recommends that women start with a 12 to 14-hour fast and gradually increase if they feel good. Some women thrive on intermittent fasting, while others need a gentler approach. Listening to your body is crucial. The long-term lifestyle. Intermittent fasting is not a quick fix. it is a lifestyle. Thompson shares stories throughout his book of individuals who have maintained intermittent fasting for years, reaping benefits like sustained weight loss, improved health markers, and enhanced quality of life. The takeaway is clear. Your body is capable of incredible things when you give it the right conditions. Intermittent fasting taps into ancient survival mechanisms, optimizing your metabolism, sharpening your mind, and extending your health span. You do not need expensive supplements, complicated meal plans, or extreme willpower. You just need to embrace the power of when you eat. So here is your challenge. Try intermittent fasting for 2 weeks. Choose a protocol that fits your lifestyle. Stay consistent and pay attention to how you feel. You might just discover that the secret to your best self was not found in what you eat, but in the time you give your body to rest, repair, and thrive. Thank you for watching. If you found this summary valuable, subscribe to the channel for more book breakdowns that can transform your life. Visit us for detailed summaries on health, productivity, and personal growth. Your next breakthrough is just one video away.